Well, hi everybody. She's back. I was wondering if she's going to get back. I uh I don't know if I need to call the heart doctor and go back early or what, but I've just felt weak. I haven't been sick. I've just been weak. But anyway, lot going on. I should be singing Ding Dong the Witch is Dead because he's dead and he's going down. The worm has turned. This is the last of the Donald Trump that we've known and watched. From here on out, it's just all downhill. He's all alone. Well, he's got Uday and Kuday, or what I used to call him Frick and Frack. He's got his two sons. But he has nobody else. He has nobody. Everybody else that was in his life or in anything is missing except a bunch of lawyers that he's paying way too much that don't like him anyway, and they don't even know him. They're all just in there for the money. They've just come in after all this because he can't get anybody else, and for the namesake, which is really stupid. They'll be lucky if they don't end up in jail before this is over. But not because representing him is illegal, but because everything he touches just turns to shit. He gets everybody involved in his messes. So that's going on, and I got some old questions here. My friend Jackie, I was going to say her last name, I'm not supposed to. I'm glad I caught myself. Sent me some stuff a couple of weeks ago I was going to read on, and so did Mark Meadows, but I haven't even looked into what he sent me. I'll have to go in and see if I can get back into his. And meanwhile, I got a new phone, which is really nice, and it's a beautiful big old phone. But but it just works so different than my other one, and I couldn't even get into my messages anything that past 2 days on it. But I put a new what they call wallpaper on it. I put one of my great granddaughters up there, but I don't know if it erased. Anyway, it didn't look like I had all the icons on it. Who knows? Who knows? That's what happens. When it comes to anything electronic, I shouldn't even touch it. And also, my cards are all cleansed. I have not read anything on politics on these cards, and I've doused them in cornstarch, so they're slippery again, and they're even shuffling for me. So, glad to hear about that. And got a couple things I want to talk about tonight, but besides whatever I read on. Where was I going with that? Oh, before I do it, I want to thank anybody that's still watching this channel, and I want to apologize for not being back on quicker. And I'm glad you're here, and if anybody wants a reading, I am wide open. I've caught totally up. I put myself up for a month and a half, and then I got to a point where I didn't take, besides not going on and letting people know that I had openings, I didn't even want to take openings because I didn't want to be, I wanted to make sure I was feeling good enough to do them. Well, I'm feeling better. I'm trying some stuff, some new stuff. It's like little patches that are supposed to activate stem cells and make them grow. Now, this sounds like a fairy tale, but over the years, I've done a lot of fairy tale healing stuff, especially from some of the Edgar Cayce readings, and it's worked. This isn't from the Edgar Cayce readings. This is supposedly some scientists, and they've been working on it for a couple of years. And I swear I've been doing it about 7 days, and I feel like a different person already. I just have gotten stronger every day. So I don't know if that's helping or whatever, but if I keep getting stronger, I'll definitely tell you what it is in case you want to try it. But, oh Lord. Anyway, what a mess out there. I am just so down on any corporate media. I can't even stand to watch them. Anybody that follows his plane around and follows his motorcade around and follows. This man is done. He's over. He's toast. Let him go. He's already got more indictments than he's going to be able to handle. He's got more coming, and the more they sensationalize it. And another thing, the Republican Party's broke because of him. They paid over $40 million in his legal fees for him and his conspirators and everybody else in this, just since the first of this year. So a lot of states are totally broke. One state had like $38 in their coffers. That's all they had for the Republican Party. And the rest of them are all almost that low. I mean, it's ridiculous. And, you know, that was some of the stuff he got into with Chris Christie, besides his son-in-law wanting Chris Christie fired. But when Chris Christie was doing the transition and using the regular money from the Republican Party to transition, and Donald Trump seen that he was using it for that, he got mad and said that was his money, don't take it. So anyway, so now he's using all the Republican money to pay all of his law fees, and if he's a billionaire, why can't he pay his own freaking law fees? Just really, the man's over. The man's done. The man's toast. The man's energy, it's like somebody stuck a pin in him and drained it all out. He's not in a good place, and he's not going to get in any better place. I'm looking through my emails here. Okay, there they are. I had some people send me some text messages, and we'll read on them. But I can't believe that's not the biggest scam. Like, if the news media really wanted to talk about what was going on in the corporate news, why aren't they asking everybody why the Republican Party's broke when people are sending Donald Trump money like crazy? From what I understand, about 99% of it goes right into his pocket, and he laundries it through his lawyers and lawyers for friends of his and whatever. That's all he's ever done. He's never had cash on hand at even the casinos and everything else. The money in and money out. Cleaning it up for the mob, cleaning it up for the Russians. And YouTube, this is for fun and entertainment only. But anyway, if anybody wants a personal reading, it's lyntarotreadings@gmail.com, lyntarotreadings@gmail.com, and I've got openings. I think I've got one appointment on this coming up Sunday, but that's the only appointment on my book. So if anybody wanted to get in without having to wait, it would be a good time to email me. Or if I've read for you before, text message me, and we'll get you on the calendar and get you set up. So that's what's going on there. And I haven't even looked into YouTube. Like I said, I haven't been sick. I've just been so tired. I've been weak. And I know my daughter's pool is 83 degrees or something like that. It's just beautiful, and it's so nice to get out of this apartment and go up where she's at. She's kind of up in the hills, and it's like being at a spa. And I haven't even felt good enough to go over there and go swimming. That's ridiculous. And I love to swim. I always used to say I'd rather swim than eat, but I don't know now that I'm getting older. Maybe not. I don't have the energy to swim. Don't take that much energy to sit around and eat. But anyway, so Jackie asked me this question: how many Republican members of Congress are going to resign because of January 6th? That's an interesting question. They might resign before they end up getting caught up in this mess, but if they're caught up in this mess, they already know they're caught up in this mess. At least the people investigating this does. So I don't think that's going to keep them from getting indicted, but if they got indicted and they found them guilty, it would get rid of a lot of them. So anyway, sorry, I was looking at another one of her questions that I've asked before, and I don't know why everybody's still asking that after 50 years. But anyway, I wasn't putting her down for it. But did DB Cooper survive his jump from that plane? I don't think he did. They found some of the money. It looked like it. I think they found a body close to it, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was bones there and part of a backpack that still had some of the money in it. I don't think anybody hiked into the woods and set that up for fun and giggles. They wouldn't have left any of the money there. I'm going to say no. He did. He landed on the ground and he might have lived for a little while after that, but he didn't. He didn't walk out of there or hike out of there. But let's start with how many Republican members of Congress are going to resign because of January 6th. Well, none of them have any pride, but if they resign, it'll be because they're worried about going to jail. Maybe they figure if they get out of there and create a lower profile, nobody's going to notice how involved they were in anything. And I don't think that's going to save their ass. But we can see how many members. So. Every time I've been asked this question, off the top of my head, I've always said 11. And yet, they say that when Donald Trump was talking to them, they said, you don't have to say they stole the election, just Our couple people that testified on that January 6th, people said they had 30 people in Congress that were backing that up, ready to, whatever, that just say that, the election was stolen and they'd take care of the rest. So I don't know. So I think I'll start with the House. That's the best way to do it. I was trying to figure out how to read on this. So how many of these assholes screaming their head off in the House is going to end up losing their jobs because of this, if not going to prison? I guess that would be the best way to ask this. I don't think we're going to come up with numbers. Well, we got the Wheel of Fortune, so there's definitely some in there. That's definitely saying yes, that people are going to lose their. Just a second, I have to move something here because I can't see my charts over here. Yeah, people are going to. This is going to be a life-changing event for them, so it's not like nobody's leaving. Could be a significant amount. We got the Wheel of Fortune here. There was a lot of people chained to the devil. It's going to shock people how many it is. I was saying 11. It'll probably shock me. More, double that, and maybe triple that. They won't maybe lose their jobs, but they're involved in it, and most of it will come to the surface for some of them. It depends on how deep involved they were. So, this is the Republican Party. They were the foundation of this scam. A lot of them are going to want to talk. They weren't in it too deep. They're going to want to tell their story, which is weird because most of them probably would just like to get away from it. But if they're not too deep in it, this is information coming through. A lot of information and correct information and saying yes, that this is also a yes card. And yes, of course we knew it was the Republican Party, but yes, a lot of the Republican Party. So that's what's going on there. They definitely colluded with him. Look at this. This is in the sky. Wow. We got a Ten of Swords here. We're going to be finding out in the near future. I think it's going to be more than we realize that we're involved pretty damn deep in this. Doesn't look like they're going to arrest that many people before these first trials come up, but it's coming. Look at this. Something's coming out about it pretty quick because this is in the immediate future, the Ten of Swords, and that's in the Republicans' back. The Democrats, the people in charge of the AG's office, they know they've got the goods on them already. They know everything. This is in the 7th house. That's the energy going on around this. They already know everything that they've done. Every little, they're going to be shocked they know so much. I don't want to be spitting on these cards because I just put some cornstarch on them. Can't believe how much better they shuffle. I've been afraid to do that. I didn't want to use baby powder because I didn't want to gum them up. And I had a friend tell me to use some cornstarch, and it worked beautiful. Well, I suggested the cornstarch. I said, well, I could try the cornstarch, but I'm afraid of the baby powder. So, yeah, there was a lot of money put into this. I'm thinking I wouldn't be surprised to see the Empress come out. See if a lot of this money maybe came from Russia. Oh, it looks like maybe Mitch McConnell was getting money from Russia when this all started up. Although he said he wasn't in on it and he was the one throwing a fit, but he didn't vote against him. Need this, and we're going to get the answer on this. This is Donald Trump. So the answers are coming out. Some people got paid off. These are all people testifying. I am really interested. This is the first time I've used these cards since I dusted them off, and I've only got a couple of main arcanas. I don't have 10 out of 10 like I've been drawing, even when I do private readings for people. So let's see. A lot of information coming out on this. So it looks like to me, what I'd say is we're going to be shocked at how many people, probably from the House and the Senate's involved in this. Totally mixed up with him, maybe even being blackmailed by him. Maybe we're going to find out what he's got on Lindsey Graham. It's got to be terrible. And this is mostly the Republicans. This is some of them coming forward and telling the truth and saying, yes, it is Republicans. Acting like juveniles up in the sky over this reading. And this is what's going to happen to them. So this is in the near future. So I was thinking that we may not even hear about this for 4 or 5 months or way down the line after they get rid of some of these other cases because they're trying to keep them so simple. But they might come in quicker than we think. And in the 7th house, we've got the Democratic Party. They know where the money came from already. This could be Merrick Garland. I thought maybe it was Mitch McConnell. That could be Merrick Garland, just knowing they've already got everything leading to Trump. Here's Trump's next. And I don't think he's no longer much of a wealthy merchant. I think he's busted. Billions or billions, yeah, sure. Not that he don't get to touch it, but he don't get to keep it. He owes it to the mob and everybody else he's been fronting for all of his life. This is some finding out where even some money went we didn't even know about or they didn't know about because somebody's telling them about it. So, how many? Doesn't say how many, but it's going to be a tremendous amount. Let's look at this. It's a tremendous amount. Let me just cut a card here. The Queen of Wands. I'm going to take 3 cards. The Seven of Wands. That's 17. Well, I'd say at least 17 of them. I said 11. It looks like it would be 17. With Justice right on them. So that's what's going on with that. But we will ask, because my friend keeps asking me about this. It said, I told you, did D.G. Cooper survive the jump from the plane? I'm not going to read on that because he survived the jump, but he didn't live through it. It wasn't like he could get up and walk away. He was injured. And it was years before they found any evidence, but there's been evidence found. But then it says, does the FBI know where D.B. Cooper is? Well, we'll look, but if he's dead and they found him and there's been evidence found, it would be yes, they would know. So let's see what comes up for that. Do they know he's been found? Are they aware that they found something? I'm sure they are. Let's see. Does the FBI have evidence of what happened to him? And I don't think he's still alive. So, yeah, they found part of the money by the body. So I would say that's a yes card. This is also a yes card. They know where he's at, and they know part of the money was found. And they said it wasn't that much of the money, but it might have been more. I mean, some of it was like, it was so long after it happened that they found it, and the bag was rotted. And the money that was gone out of it, it just like looked like it had blown, whatever, it was scattered. There was still some in the bag. So if they found this and it got turned over, that would be a yes, and this is a yes card. So that's what the cards say. So somebody asking if Fox News is going down. They may change after Murdoch dies. I don't know. One of his sons is much of a Nazi as he is, so I'm not sure. For entertainment only, YouTube. But we'll find out. We'll draw some cards across. Is Fox News going down? Is that what it says? Will Fox News go down? That's what it says. It looks like that's what their pastime was for years. That's why they had all the lawsuits with people going down. Well, they're going to get a lot more legislation against them. They may end up, before this is all over, they may be getting sued right in the middle of this. This is interesting. I think I'm going to do a longer. I was just going to pull 4 cards, but starting out with the Hierophant coming after them. They might end up in trouble before, as soon as Donald Trump's gone. It might be big lawsuits over them because they had so much to do with this, trying to overthrow the United States. It's interesting to come up with that. Looks like it. Got a yes card over the Hierophant. Oh, this is like the emperor, and that damn sure ain't Donald Trump anymore. So would it be taking the news, the whole media down? That's the foundation. It's coming through as the emperor. I was saying, I didn't I just mention that I quit drawing stuff from the main arcana? Here's my guides playing with me. First three cards out: the Hierophant, the Star, and the Emperor. And we got the Three of Swords here. So that's the energy around it. It's for lying and putting out, for lying and pushing the lie and pushing. Maybe they'll find him involved. This thing could go so deep. I don't know. I don't think we'd ever find out, but it might be enough to end up closing him down. This is the bully walking away, so that would be a yes. It's going to show that somebody got paid off for lying and stealing from the United States, stealing justice from the United States is what that would be, the way this is set up. They're going to see if they can just pay it off and not, and the less, and they don't want this dirty laundry aired out in public, but that won't have anything to do with it if they go after him for helping. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever really charge anybody for sedition or treason, but there's look at this. This is the energy. They're going to have to pour so much money in there. My elbow's itching. It could be from the cornstarch up here on this dill. Anyway, they're afraid that all this stuff's coming. I feel like maybe they were working with other governments to bring our government down. Look at this. Something's coming out. This is right by the Star. The Hierophant, the Star, and the Sun card all gathered around here with the Emperor underneath. And the Emperor's riding this horse with no clothes. So I think they might find out Fox was right in the middle of this. And there might be, look at this. There could be people that worked at Fox News and end up in jail over this. So what the cards are saying is that that the government already knows a whole bunch about what's going on. And yes, they could get prosecuted for this. Maybe if not the whole company and go down, a lot of people that worked there may be taken individually. Some of the people that thought they were too big to be touched. At least 3 people that worked there could get actually indicted before this is over. For promoting the bully all of that time and promoting all his lies. They knew they were stealing from the American public by putting this out as news when they knew it wasn't news. They were just trying to confuse everybody by not telling the truth, just trying to keep the truth from getting out of there. That was their biggest goal, was just to use and confuse people. And they were getting paid big money for it. Of course, they were getting paid big money for it because a lot of people were watching their channel. But there's more than that being exposed. This is a huge exposure. And it ends up with some of them going to jail. And from that 3 of Swords, that looked like maybe 3 people that even worked there was going to end up in jail. So that's what the cards are saying about it. I haven't read any political cards. Well, I've been reading a lot of private readings. In fact, I just got my appointments caught up about 4 days ago. I was booked up for a month and a half ahead of time. But then I didn't book any for a while because I wanted to catch up. So let me push these back in here at different places and see what else is there. Gosh, a lot of happy ideals here. My friend wants to know when will Elon Musk go down? She knows I can't say when, but is Elon Musk going to be able to even hang on to Twitter? Elon Musk. Talk about another narcissist. Doesn't have a clue about money. He was just given so much money. And still probably has it coming in if he still owns mines in Africa. I don't know if those are sold or whatever, but or wherever he owned them. Wherever he's from, I don't think it was Africa. So let's just ask if Elon Musk is going to be able to keep Twitter. If he's going to crash it. Let's ask what's going on with Twitter. Will Twitter survive, or what's going to happen to Twitter? Let's make this about Twitter. Because it's the same thing as Elon Musk at this time. He's running the whole thing. He doesn't have anybody advising him. He's just like Donald Trump. He thinks he's king. Okay. Which he can be king since he paid for it all by himself, but it may not sustain him. Okay. Twitter. What's happening to Twitter? Well, it says, will Elon Musk go down? And we got a yes card. Now, I don't think he'd possibly go to jail, so I don't know what this is about, but he does, feel like he's closed in. Feels like he's being surrounded and not having the freedom that he'd like to have. I don't know what that's about. They can't, it's not like the government's going to go and investigate Twitter because it's a free company. They can put whatever they want on it. This is the foundation. It looks like it's not going to float too long. It's not going to float very long. And if he goes to sell it, they're going to offer him a pittance for it, compared to what he paid for it. He might end up even having somebody take it off his hands or something. I don't know how. I don't know if you can run something in the hole and then you can't leave the bills there. I'm not sure how that works, but this is like somebody offering him a penny on the dollar. Well, that would still be too much money, I think, for what he paid for. He paid billions for it. But anyway, in the sky, we got the world card, so everybody's watching him. He may not be able to sustain. I figured he'd be able to sustain this for quite a while because he's got a enough money to sustain it, but it looks like he might just give up and walk away because that's the bully walking away. It may not be as much fun if they cut down on a lot of these Republican narcissists. If they kick him out of office or arrest a lot of the people that he's backing, maybe it just won't be as much fun. Whatever happens, it's going to happen quick and swift. It's not going to. It's like it's not even going to die a slow death, but it's going to just limp along and then all of a sudden just whoosh, come right in and knock it out. This is him already thinking about, this is his hope and fears, is which way he might be able to turn it, what he might be able to do to save it. But he doesn't have a clue. He's totally clue. This is like baffling with bullshit and dazzling with when you can't dazzle them with brilliance, and he definitely couldn't dazzle anybody with brilliance. Um, the question was will Musk go down or Twitter go down? And the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. It won't even die with a quiver. It's going to die with it's there. So that's what's going on. We got 2 yes cards. Yes, it wasn't going to survive very long. He's already getting bored with it and feels like he's in a bind with it. On some level, I think he can't even, he knows it's costing him money to keep the doors open. He's had a few offers for it already, but they weren't very much. But we're going to start hearing about him trying to sell off before too long, because he's ready to desert it. Trump's going down, most of his fun with all this playing politics might be going down. Although he does like to be able to think people are listening to everything he says. When it happens, it's going to happen quick. And there are no new ideals to save it. And yes, it's going to happen. So that's what it says about that. So will Rand Paul lose his next election? We hope so. Don't we hope so, people? I'm sorry if I haven't seemed very happy or giggly tonight. It's about 10 or 11. It's 11 o'clock already. I was going to do this early. But is Rand Paul going to lose his next election? Temperance. Well, my second husband was from Kentucky. He didn't know the meaning of this word, not when it came to alcohol. But anyway, so maybe he's not involved in this. If they end up investigating all those people that went to Russia right at the first of Trump's term, if they ever go that far, which I bet they never will, I'm sure he's going to be involved in some underground money coming in through Russia. But this is kind of like, if he is, we're not going to hear too much about it. That's a signifier. He's trying to keep a low profile right now. But his world as he knows it is changing. So if he don't get arrested, it looks like he might lose his next election. That would be nice. To a woman. Interesting. When I went to Kentucky to visit 40 years ago, when I was married to my second husband, or maybe it was 50 years ago, when I went there a couple times, but it was before I was 30, I think, with my trips to Kentucky. They didn't want women having any power. That's all they talked about. That a woman that had a hot foot on a golf, what was that? My mother-in-law at the time was always saying, "Yeah, that woman's got a hot foot for the gas pedal and a cold dinner on the table at home." That's what women were for. To make sure they stayed home and had a dinner on the table. So this shows him maybe not even running. So he might have a bunch of, when he sees how things are coming after other people, he might think if he just retires, this is kind of like retiring. Instead of getting voted out, that maybe he'll miss all the information that's coming out stuff. Everybody trying to see who can tell on the other one the quickest. That's what's going to happen. We got the Two of Swords in the immediate future. He's trying to block something even at the current time from coming out. There's something that maybe he's more mixed up in this stuff at the Capitol than we know, because there's something he's mixed up in that he's trying to keep blocked. This is Rand Paul. Some money that he paid somebody or somebody paid him. This is payoffs. This is corrupt money. And that's in his 7th house. If he quits, that'll be why he's worried he's getting out of there before all this stuff comes back to bite him in the ass. There's people in the Democratic Party that know some of his dirty deeds. Of course, they all got dirty deeds. It's not like Republicans, great, Democrats. I mean, Republicans terrible and Democrats great. No. Politics isn't a football game. There's a bunch of assholes that are in it that are on the Democratic side too. But anyway, it looks like whoever's in charge, this is Russian money. Look at this. That's what he's worried about. You know, I said I don't know if they're going to find out money taken from Russia and all. Yeah, he was definitely taking trips to Russia. Look at this. Wow. This sounds so weird. Maybe when they start drawing all this other stuff out, it's going to draw a bunch of stuff out about those. Maybe all kinds of stuff's going to come out, because this is like somebody in jail. Well, is he a dentist? Maybe he'll have to actually go back to work as a dentist. I wouldn't want him in my mouth. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's going to be over money. It's going to be over money in Russia. So here we go. Not going to hear too much about it, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be headlines. Looks like a woman might be coming in to replace him his next term. This is him walking away. He's trying to get out of there. He's volunteering to leave. This is news coming out about him. He's just trying to get out of there before anybody finds out about something that's gone on, which is money, taking illegal money from somebody. Some of the people even in the Congress, I don't know if it's on the House or the Senate side, but some of the people know about this. Some women, some people know more about what's going on. They may not tell because they may be doing something similar. But here's Russia. It's Russia. It's money that came in from Russia, and here he is sitting in prison. Maybe he's making dentures. That would be better than having him touch anybody. So that's Ron Paul. So I thought that sounded. We can't do this without asking about the Flynn brothers. Let's just start with Michael Flynn. If he gets in trouble, we know his brother's going to be in trouble too, because they're two peas in a pod, from what I understand. That's what I'm hearing, 2 pea pods. Damn, I should have cleaned these cards off better, I think. Now I can't hardly even pick them up. They're getting slippier and slipperier. So, yeah, maybe I'll get a linen cloth and clean them off here when I get through. So, what was he asking about? Listen to the Flynn, Mike Flynn. We'll look at Mike Flynn. Then I want to ask if Steve Bannon's that other guy. Everybody says that they know it's Jeffrey Clark or some, I don't remember who it is. They know who that other guy is. It's not the lawyer or something, but I think it's Steve Bannon. And Bannon might have had his law license at one time. I don't think he's still a lawyer. But anyway, let's go for Mike Flynn here first. And I want to thank my guides for coming in and helping me, because they're clearing my head as I go even. I was afraid I might not be able to concentrate. And Don't want to start bragging. But anyway, let's go with Mike Flynn. I don't think we have to go any further than this. This is the death card for him. I think he's going down. So I'm just going to draw 4 across the top. I'm not going to draw a whole Celtic cross on him. Biden's got the information on him. The Biden, or what, not Biden himself, but the AG's got stuff on him enough to take him down. He's definitely going to be in there. It's going to be for the people he was hanging out with, which would be this part of this January 6th plot. And he ain't getting out of it this time. This is the court being triumphant. And his tower is going to crash and burn as he knows it. So it started out with, yes, the death card. The government already has all the goods on him. This is people turning evidence on him. This is the AG coming in, and this is where he ends up. So, doesn't look good for Mike Flynn at all. Now let's go. And let's go into Donald Trump. I got to look at him because I felt like it just hit him in the last 48 hours that he's on the bottom of the barrel and there's no way to climb out of it. It just hit him. That's why he's getting desperate and he's threatening people. I mean, that's a horrible threat he put out. Anybody else, they'd take him straight to jail. And I don't think this new judge that in this case is going to frick around with him. I don't think she's going to play with him like all the other judges have been treating him like he's some little kid or something. So Donald Trump, what's going on in that head of yours? I don't want to go in your head, but I bet you live in mine rent-free, so no matter how much I try to ignore you. So, I know I was going to ask what's the plan. I don't think you ever had a plan in your life, except what kind of bullshit you were going to put out before you went out the door and started some new bullshit. But that's not going to work anymore because when you lie all the time, you can't never remember what you said. That's why you can't never take the stand. Somebody lies 24 hours a day, they can't take the stand because it's a different story every day. So there's no way to tell the truth because there is no truth. So that's what's going on with him. Oh, these cards are shuffling so much better. So much better. So the signifier is a yes card. What was going on in my mind when I flipped it over is he going down. That's not yes, but that's hell yes. It's like there's no two ways about it and there's no way out. Just like I said, this is a yes. Like the control has gone over. What ends up actually burying him is going to be a female. And this could be the judge in this case, or it could be somebody testifying against him. But who puts out the most stuff to put him under is going to be a female. Maybe one of his lawyer friends. This sounds silly because I think most of the women lawyers have stayed faithful to him. I don't know who's tickling who. God, that's gross to think about it. Even when that man was 25 years old, I wouldn't have wanted him within 50 miles of me. This is more burden than he's ever had. This is the foundation. He is feeling totally weighted down. And this, okay, I know what this is. And he's blaming it on a woman. I wonder if this is Melania. You know how nothing's ever his fault and how mad he gets. He's like a 2-year-old when he's throwing a fit. It's like he's been throwing a fit and blaming it, almost even telling Melania that it's her fault that he's in the middle of all this stuff. He's definitely thinking about running. Look at this. That's the past influence on the right now. He's done some work toward trying to figure out how he could actually leave the country if he had to. That doesn't mean he's going to, but he's done some work on it. He's got money stored, in different places all over the world, even though it may not be big amounts because they don't know how to keep money. He just knows how to bring it through and laundry it and, use whatever. Grab enough out of it to pay off the mob or whoever he owes and keep going. So, but he had money back in places. He'll be really lucky if he doesn't end up losing his health over this. If he's going to get sick, we're going to hear about it right away. This is the near future. And look at this. Is he going to a hospital? Where's he going? This isn't flying off into the sunset, but this is definitely leaving Mar-a-Lago. Is he going to jail? Is he going to a hospital? Where's he going? This is in the 7th house. Well, wherever they're going to put him, if he gets convicted, they have a plan already. There's plans that were already made about what to do with him. That's another thing that just drives me crazy. That's why we'll not watch corporate news. Is they keep talking about him like he's some kind of effing Superman. Like he can't go to prison. There's no way they could put him in jail. Yeah, they could. They could just section off one corner of it and bar it off from the rest of the prison, and that would be his corner, and even his Secret Service guys could go in there with him all day. If they wanted to put him in like a prison, they wanted to put him in a mental hospital, in a military unit, they could do that too. Then just sanction it off and have guards there full time on the outside, make sure nobody would break him out, which I don't think anybody would break him out. But they'd probably come and nail the door shut. But anyway, there's no reason they can't put him in jail, in some kind of jail. Take all of his media. Every time I hear them talk about house arrest or something like that, I just cringe. Anyway, I just think the news media is just spreading shit, just spinning shit, just trying to get everybody to keep watching. His hopes and fears is that he's not going to have a person that he knows left to spread his bullshit to. Even his kids have all deserted him except the 2 boys. But, and, maybe Melania's son, but she's going to keep her son as far away from this as she can. The outcome is everybody's going to know everything that he stole from the public and the people, and by the time these things are over, even if they don't bring charges against him, most people are going to feel like he's also guilty for the murder of those policemen that got murdered during those riots and stuff. As soon as they find out it's a coup pot, and it was such coup plot. Coup pot. Hey, I just came up with the new name, coup pot. But anyway, a coup plot, and he was responsible for it. They're going to feel like he personally is responsible for their loved one's death. And we got the star card over and that's saying yes, hell yes. So maybe they're going to end up suing him, some of these people, when this is all over, in case he's got a dime left. I doubt if he'll have a dime to put between his knees. So anyway, he won't have to worry about bilking money out of the people after this, because he's not going to be able to. They're going to have him shut down at all ends. I don't think he's going to live long enough to bilk too many people out. But anyway, that's what's going on with him. This is yes, that knows he's in big trouble, and he's blaming most of it on some woman, maybe some woman around him. Maybe he's being abusive to all of his girlfriends, Carrie Lake and that Haba, and Melania, maybe he's treating them all bad. I don't know. Who knows? He's wondering if he can possibly have enough energy to get through what he's got to go through, because it's just finally dawned on him that he can't leave, that he's got to stay here and face this. He is thinking about some money he's got stashed in different places. This is in the sky, and, in different accounts and around the world. But right now, he's so low energy, he can't even figure out what to do about it for sure. But here he is. This is the 7th house. He's definitely thinking about sneaking off. This isn't being arrested or told to leave or put in jail. This is like sneaking off, although sometimes this is the 7th house. Like, this is my going up the river to jail card. So maybe, ha ha ha, all the news media is, you're going to find out, yeah, they can put his ass in jail. And this is him for the plot. That's the energy around it. For trying to overthrow the government. Because all of his friends are going to tell on him, no matter how much he threatens them on his social media. And like I said, he's going to look so responsible for all the violence before this is over. When people start hearing the real truth, it's all going to lead back to him. And so he gets to be his own star. While the money's just barely coming in to feed him. No more luxurious sheets. So it definitely looks like he's going to jail. They're definitely got a plan to put him in jail, and he knows it. It's finally dawned on him that he could actually even go to jail. He's getting sick already, worrying about it. Thinking about money he's got put back. Think about cutting out of there and leaving. And kind of wishing maybe he'd made some better plans. More than 1 or 2 exit plans. He might need 3 or 4, he's thinking. Blaming everything right now because he's so angry on some woman around him. And I bet Melania's not anywhere near the Mar-a-Lago or whatever. And this is yes. Yeah, he's not. He's going to jail. So anyway, as soon as I shut this down, I'll probably think of something else I was going to read on. But that's about all. And I felt like, whatever, I'm not going to beat myself up, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm really glad to get back on here. And remember, if you want a reading, it's lintarotreadings@gmail.com. I've got a lot of openings, and so if you send me an email, or if I read for you again, a text message, we'll get you on the calendar. I'll call it and make an appointment. I make all my own appointments. If anybody else ever calls you and says it's me and trying to make appointments with people, unless it's me, it's not. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and push the thumbs up if you get a chance. I probably need that since I haven't did a video in 3 weeks, and I just want to thank everybody. Thank you so much. Namaste.